The iPhone 15 is just about 2 months away, and in this video, I want to go over the latest leaks and rumors we've been hearing because recently we've gotten a ton of good news. And as always, I worked with Shay over at Concept Central to bring you the world's best look at the iPhone 15 with some exclusive renders that you will not find anywhere else. We're really proud of this latest batch. Can't wait for you to see them in this video. Let's start off with the new color leak we got just the other day. So we've known for a while that the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus are going to be coming in a new brighter blue option, as well as a super vibrant pink that a lot of people seem to be stoked about, myself included. But now, according to a new post over on Weibo, Apple also has one other color for the regular 15s in the works, and that is a new green option, which I honestly think looks really good. It sounds like it's going to be sort of a lighter or a lime green, kind of reminiscent of what Apple did back in 2020 on the iPhone 12. And this lineup, if Apple actually ships these colors, I think is going to be a hit. I think the standard iPhone 15 lineup is going to be fire, and I was hoping like maybe we finally see a bright color on the Pros, because that's what Pros have been like. We're kind of bored of the white, black, gold, subdued colors, but Apple, no, they're continuing the same trend this year. We are getting a product red, and this report corroborates that, but it's going to be a darker maroon shade, which I do like a lot. It is a good look, better than the purple we got on the 14 Pros, but it's still not like bright. That being said though, overall, I think the colors are sounding really good. And of course, there's going to be a mid-cycle refresh sometime in the spring of 2024 where we get an additional color for the Pros and the non-Pros as well. Now, let's talk about battery life. This was another huge report that came out of nowhere. A source from an iPhone factory apparently reached out to website IT Home and shared pretty much all the details about the iPhone 15 battery capacities, and it is absolutely amazing. And here's all the info. The iPhone 15 standard model is going up 15% to 3877 milliamp hours. The iPhone 15 Plus is almost at 5000 milliamp hours, 4912, a 12% increase, with a 12% increase also on the 15 Pro. That increase sits now at 3,650 milliamp hours, with the iPhone 15 Pro Max going up the smallest here 11% to 4,852 milliamp hours. Okay, this is a really big deal for multiple reasons. First of all, it confirms that we're getting physically larger batteries, which is really important. Apple historically has been a bit hesitant to increase the actual battery size, but they're 100% doing that this year. But this is going to be combined with a ton of other improvements. We've heard rumors for months now about Apple improving the LCD controller efficiency. They're working on the A17 chip, which is 3 nanometers. It's going to be significantly more power efficient and powerful in general. And as we'll talk about a little bit later in the video, there's going to be an upgraded U2 spatial awareness chip that is also getting significantly more efficient. So adding all these upgrades together, I think the battery life is going to be a huge selling point for the iPhone 15. And considering that on the 14 Pros specifically, it has not been great, this is definitely an area that Apple needed to focus on. And I think it's very realistic that Apple says each model is getting 2+ hours of additional battery life over the 14, because with all these improvements together, it's going to be a bigger deal than even I think this report is suggesting. Now, before moving on with the rest of this, I want to take just a second to tell you about ClearVPN, who sponsored today's video. VPNs, of course, keep you safe and protected online by routing your traffic through secure servers. But unlike others, ClearVPN has a dedicated focus on the user experience, and it actually looks good. In the app, there are 3 simple sections. First, it's called Smart Connection. This allows you to connect to a VPN server, and it's actually free for all users, as ClearVPN believes privacy is a human right. In the next section, you can change your location to a number of different servers located around the world. There's a great selection here, and they're all lightning quick. And the third option for streaming allows you to access geo-block content that you normally couldn't get in your area. ClearVPN has won a ton of cybersecurity awards, and with a strict no-logs policy and industry-grade encryption protocols, it's an excellent choice. And when you use my special link down below, you get a free premium trial for 30 days, and after that, you get 6 months of ClearVPN 2 for just $21, as plans start at just $3.50 a month, which is less than your morning coffee. ClearVPN is the VPN you'll love using. Thanks to them for sponsoring. Now, back to the video. All right, next up, let's talk about cameras. It's still going to be 2 lenses on the standard models, 3 lenses on the Pros, but on the Pro models specifically, Apple is swapping the positions of the ultra-wide and the telephoto lenses. And the reason Apple is doing this is to actually fit the new periscope zoom lens in on the iPhone 15 Pro Max specifically. This is going to be the all-new lens, new technology we haven't seen on the iPhone before that will give you a digital zoom of about 50x and optical zoom of about 5x. Now, you might have noticed I said that periscope zoom is only on the Pro Max, and according to Unknowns21 over on Twitter, that is going to be the case, and it sounds like Apple is keeping the periscope zoom restricted to the most expensive model, actually due to a space constraint. Due to the raw design of the periscope zoom lens, it takes up a lot of space, which is not only why Apple's swapping the lens positions, it just actually can't fit right now into a 15 Pro body. Now, actually visualizing what this change is going to look like, it's really not going to be noticeable. There will be a slight change on the design of the lens on the exterior due to the periscope design, but really the lenses are just swapping place and nobody's really going to notice the difference. I'm just salty that we're going back to the Pro Max meta of it having more features than the standard Pro. Like, if I'm paying $1,000 for my iPhone, I would like all the features on my phone. I know that's a crazy hot take that I'm just saucing out here. Honestly, that's really the only bad news in this entire video, because if you're not buying a Pro, you're still getting a significantly upgraded camera this year. According to analyst Jeff Poo, Apple is adding the same sensor from the 14 Pro to all iPhone 15 models, the 48 megapixel one, which sounds a bit sus at first because big camera upgrades are usually reserved for the Pros, but also the standard models haven't gotten really any significant camera upgrades in years, so it definitely feels like it's time for something. Okay, this next one's got me really excited for some reason. Wireless charging getting a huge upgrade. So right now, if you charge via MagSafe on the iPhone, you can charge at 15 watts, which is decently fast. If you don't use MagSafe though, you can only get 7.5 watts when you use a wireless Qi charger. Well, according to multiple independent sources, on the iPhone 15, this is changing because Apple has co-developed the Qi 2 standard that uses magnets for perfect charging alignment. And for the first time on non-MagSafe chargers, you're gonna be able to wirelessly charge your phone at 15 watts, which is like double what you get now. This is a big deal for a number of reasons. Number one, it's going to allow a ton of third parties to make some significant upgraded wireless chargers, and the market's going to explode. And number two, going along with that, it should bring down the prices of MagSafe type chargers with Qi 2. I really like this because 7.5 watts is so slow. My car has a 7.5 watt wireless charger, and I don't even usually break 2% on a 30-minute drive. That's insane. Now, I also think the writing is on the wall for a new Apple charging accessory this fall as well, considering the standby mode in iOS 17. I mean, they show third-party chargers working with it in all of their promo material. You absolutely know Apple is working on their own. And considering that the current MagSafe Duo charger like barely works with the Apple Watch Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro, like, it's time for a new Apple wireless charging solution. So I have a feeling, I'm just putting my bet down now, I bet we're gonna see a new Apple charger this fall as well. Something else Apple's been thinking about is how the iPhone 15s are going to work with the new Vision Pro headset, which sounds weird because it's just like Bluetooth, right? But there's actually a chip that Apple's been putting in the phones for years. It's the U1 chip. It debuted with the iPhone 11 Pro. It's for spatial awareness, so if two phones have a U1 chip inside, they know relative to each other exactly where they are. And up until now, the only real application we've seen of this is with precision finding on AirTags. That's how you can get basically down to the inch to locate your item. It's because AirTags have U1 and your phone has a U1 chip. But there have been rumors for years now this is going to tie into augmented reality and the headset being able to place where the phone is and vice versa. And this year, Apple is going to be upgrading this spatial chip for the first time. According to a new rumor from Guomin Xi, this new U2 chip is not only significantly improving in the nanometers down from 16 to 7, which is going to improve performance or reduce power consumption. And listen, maybe I'm reaching here, but I feel like Apple's got some plan with these U1, U2 chips for spatial that we just don't see yet. Like, it's in the headset, it's in the watch now, it's in the phone. The watch can't find AirTags, like probably the headset can't. But Apple is, I think they're essentially building a smart home map of all your devices. If they all know where each other are, you can locate them quicker, you can potentially play media from one to another faster, you can share data between them quicker. Like, Apple, they are up to something here. And just like the U1 chip came out in 2019, and we didn't know until 3 years later it was for AirTags, I guarantee that the U2 chip coming in the 15 is just a building block. Following that, iPhone 15 case leaks aren't something that I would normally talk about ever, but these new images that came out actually are pretty interesting. First of all, on the bottom, they show a much larger opening for what will be USB-C. Like, case makers are already taking this into account because USB-C is a bit larger than the Lightning port. But more interesting to me actually are the button changes we're seeing. The side button looks to be getting just a little bit smaller, and the volume buttons are not only shifting up ever so slightly, there's a larger opening for what was the mute switch. So while Apple is keeping the standard mute switch on the normal 15s, the Pros are rumored to get an action button, similar to what we have on the Apple Watch Ultra, where it's user reprogrammable to the flashlight or a specific app, or basically whatever you want, which is super exciting because we've never had a dedicated button on the iPhone just for toggles. Like, are we talking about Apple here? They're gonna let us customize a part of the phone? It's gonna be really cool. And I was actually skeptical that this would actually be happening, but now case leaks seem to be corroborating like what I can see on the dummy units I have, which is there is a new button here. Like, it's not the standard mute switch on the Pros. It is something unique this year. And finally, wrapping up this video, this year, I think it's gonna be a big deal. And I've been saying this for a while, that USB-C, like I had a tweet about this, that it's gonna make more people upgrade than you would think. I think this is gonna be a super duper cycle for the iPhone 15. And according to a new report from Ross Young, Apple is actually estimating the same thing. They have doubled the same amount of production panels and screens year over year, like 100% more than last year on the 14. And another tidbit I found interesting is that Apple has flipped the production of non-Pro and Pro displays. It sounds like Apple has learned from that, and they're producing way more Pro screens this year than non-Pro screens. So read into that as it's not going to be hard to get a 15 Pro like it was a 14 Pro. That's just I don't know, it's a small little rumor nugget that I found interesting, that like in the background, Apple's they learned and they're like, people want the Pros, let's make way more of those. So let me know what you guys thought about this video and all of these insane renders that we had down below in the comment section. Again, Shay over at Concept Central, he is an absolute legend. If you have not subscribed to his channel, you have to, because the concepts he posts are actually the best in the game right now. He's just the best. So go subscribe to his channel. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, two months from this, dude. We are getting close. I've got some insane plans. I cannot wait to share them for the 15s, and I hope you guys are doing well. I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.